Morning, everyone. This is Deanna from Ismini Bakes, and we are doing Cherry Bomb Moms today. And I am meeting with Jennifer Schaefer, who is Michael, my son's wife. So she's my daughter-in-law, and she is going to be joining us any minute. We'll have to bear with her with patience because this is her first time being live. And there's Grams. Okay. To do next. Okay, so let me just take and do this with Jenny. All right, so all right, here we go. Who's this? This is her. Okay, I think she figured it out. Hallelujah. Of course she did. Right. So she's going to be here any minute. And she's joined us. So let's see. Let's see when she's coming, which should be any minute. Jennifer Schaefer Thornton. Yes, she's here. She's joined us. And who else do we have? All right. We have to view requests. Go live. Oh, okay. So she should be here any minute. And there she is.
I did it.
You did it.
Oh,
Go, Jenny.
thank you.
Well, Jenny, tell me when you go on live, because I don't know from my end, what do you have to push? What do you have to do to get here?
So you sent me a request. I mean, like a join it.
Yes.
And then I had to hit a request also. So I requested that you let me join in. So I don't remember the name of the button, but that's what I did.
So are there a couple of buttons to push or just one?
I think it was one, and then I had to allow a couple of accesses because I've never done this before. So
Okay. Well, you made it here.
I am here. I'm here.
I know it. So as I said in the text, this is a test run.
Okay.
But I think it's be really cool. So maybe we'll just stay here and talk.
Yeah, that sounds
What do
good.
you think?
I'm happy to do that.
Okay.
Can you see me okay? I've got you situated.
I can. Can you see me okay?
Yeah.
Okay, cool. So actually today I was thinking about a few things, but we'll talk after the podcast about someone else joining you, but whatever.
Okay.
So
I love that.
have graciously accepted the offer to be in the Cherry Bomb Moms.
I'm honored.
podcast.
Thank you for asking me.
Well, thank you for coming on. And tell me, do you want to talk about your mom, your grandma, other people in particular? Who's your first person you want to discuss?
I think we should talk about my mom first.
Okay.
Yeah.
That sounds good.
Yeah.
And her mom's name is Karen. Oh, by the way, everybody, this is Deanna from Ismini Bakes podcast. This is my sweet daughter-in-law, Jennifer Thornton Schaefer, and she is married to Michael, my son. And we were talking last Sunday about the podcast, and she said, let's do it. So here we are. So tell me and our viewers a little bit about your mom.
I was thinking about it today. I went to yoga before I came in here, and I was just thinking about all the things that I would want to say, or like the way I would describe my mom. And it's probably not traditional, right? Like she wasn't the mom that had baked cookies waiting for me when I came home from school, right? Like that wasn't her life. She had me really young. Yeah. She went to school when I was young. She was trying to make a career for herself so that she could take care of us. And so she really is someone that kind of made her own way against a lot of obstacles, actually. And so it was really a great way to grow up, to see a woman be able to do that and just kind of absorb it. I didn't know that I was taking things on from her necessarily until I got older and was able to reflect back. But, you know, my mom's extremely intelligent. She is a very hard worker. She has a really good work ethic. She's resilient. She loved me fiercely, you know, although probably untraditionally, but very fiercely. She was very protective of me. She was always super stylish and gorgeous. And kind of, I always really looked up to her, especially as a kid. I always wanted to be just like her. And yeah, so that's some of the ways I would describe my mom. She's more than that, but that's kind of where to start, maybe.
And I know Jenny's mom. Her name is Karen, and I totally, you nailed it with everything that she is and more, because
And
she
mhm.
went on and got an education in a field that I don't know if that was common for women in that day. What do you think?
I don't think so. I think it's, you know, she's a CPA, so it was probably more male dominated
Yes.
when and she went to school when I was a kid. So, I mean, she had me when she was 19. So we started off in pretty humble start, and she was able to make her way. Now, she also found my stepdad and married well. I don't know that any of us can be, I don't know that you could kind of just describe one person without looking at the whole picture. I think he was a
Yeah.
big part of
Right.
that journey of her being able to go to school and kind of and supporting her. But she did find somebody who was um, also a career-minded person, but also really valued home and
Hmm.
took me on, and in a way that was like I was his child. And so it was a really nice way to be raised. Honestly, they valued education quite a bit, and music and art and fun things like that.
Yeah. Fun things. Because are we thinking maybe the 70s?
Yeah,
Yeah.
total.
Yeah. I love
Yeah,
the 70s, right?
I
What a,
know, I know.
what a
I'm kind
time to
of
grow
vibing
up.
back there. I know. I think it was in the '80s. I mean, I don't know. Yeah,
Well, I don't know. I'm very partial to the 70s. I just loved everything that was happening, all the organic foods and natural things.
yes.
And, that part was, I loved it during that time. And Jenny, when your mom was going to school, how old would you have been?
I. Oh, she'd probably be able to tell you better, but I would say probably 6, 7, something like that. I remember
Okay.
John. The only person I remember on my 6th birthday was John, which is my stepdad. And
Right.
I, if she wasn't starting school then, she started closely thereafter. And so I would say around then. Yeah.
Okay. And, with your mom going to school, what do you think you walked away with? Because
Mm,
I'm feeling, in, looking out, whatever, I'm
yeah.
feeling that it taught you, wow, a lot of things. But I think maybe one of the things that I was able to see was responsibility and education. What do you think? What do you walked away with?
Um, I would say that is very true. And you met me when I was 15, so it was not that far after all of this, really.
No,
Like, right? Like,
no.
I mean, I was a kid when I met you. So, what did it teach me? There was something about our household, and I've thought about this as a parent now, right? Like
Hmm.
the environment that I raised my kid. It matters the environment you're in because your kids take that on. I took it on. So
Yes.
my mom was going to school and then went to get her CPA, and then there was a crossover when John went to law school. So
Oh,
there
wow.
was my whole. I feel like that upbringing from like 6 to probably 14 or 15 was really around school, and
Yes.
we prioritized that. And they had put me in Catholic school in the same time period. So all of our finances, all of our energy, everything we talked about was related to going to school and kind of creating, a career for yourself and being able to make your own living. And I don't think that should be underestimated for young women,
No,
to
especially
learn from
today.
her,
Like if you're,
especially. Yeah.
yeah, like your mom was not a single mom, but we know there are single moms out there
Yeah,
that,
and she was for a while, right? So
okay,
there was a moment where she was, and I would say this about my mom too. So she was young, but she was really smart in many ways, not just like textbook wise, but she was very clear that I was her daughter and she put me first. So there was no
you
other
felt that.
man. Yeah, there was no, she made all the decisions for me, like John didn't, right? Like eventually as he was with us
Yeah,
longer, he did. But
right.
in the beginning, she was very much very like, that she wasn't going to let somebody in my space that was going to do some type of harm. And so I think that's something that I took away too, even though I've been in a marriage the entire time I've raised my kids, and a very happy one, I would say I'm also very like, very clear about me being the parent, and very clear
Right.
about making those decisions, and not having people that may, cause any kind of, I don't want to say harm, because that feels kind of dramatic, but you know what I mean. Like
Right.
I was very clear about my roles of parent. I think that did come from her.
And
She,
when you were feeling that when you were growing up, it sounds like you were well aware that you had a good protection from your mom, no matter what. She was
yes,
there.
yes,
Yeah.
yes, yes,
And it was, I think, that for moms, that's even hard when you're married, and harder when you're a single mom. And then you said that you John and her got married, so she had a lot of balancing balls going on. What do you think?
yeah. I would say, and you took me back to the 70s. I mean, that was the time when really feminism was really kind of coming
Yeah.
up and out, and my mom is very much tied to that, and I would say that also very much influenced the way that I look at things. And so um that was a gift. That
Yes.
was a
And
gift.
maybe that's why I like it so much, is that whole thing about women, and what they were doing, and they were moving forward with it, and their
Yeah.
voices could be and would be heard. And so your mom and me, we
You
were,
too.
we were there in the
Mhm.
in the 70s, and we're able to take and experience it. And it was just a great takeaway of everything. So your mom is going to school,
Yeah.
and was she working at the time too?
hmm Yeah, she
Oh my,
always worked. She went to school. She was always doing those things.
wow,
Mm. I
wow.
mean,
And the thing is, I know we can all agree that women today are doing this. But back then, I don't know, maybe I'm a little partial, but I think we just did it. Your mom just did it. We didn't think about it. Can I do it? You just did it, right?
yeah, I think there was, you know, the resilience I maybe mentioned, but when you when you want something different from your life and you want it to go a certain way, and you're actually kind of forced to take care of yourself and a
Yes.
child, I think it's a different environment. It
Yes.
was probably a different environment for her, right? So
Well, there's certainly
yeah,
intention there. Your
yeah,
mom knew the goal of what she wanted for her and for you as well. And
yeah,
she was going to take and just move forward with it. And I love that part, is that she didn't let anything get in her way at all. That she
no,
was just really strong with her convictions. I really give women a lot of credit. And I know many women that have gone to school and completed their education while they're taking and working, and while they're taking and having a family. And you know what? You don't even say, how do you do it? Because you, you just don't even think about it. Because honestly, do you think if you thought about it, you'd go, I don't know, maybe I shouldn't do it? Right?
yeah. I mean, she probably didn't give herself a choice. She had tons of choices. She could have done that a totally different way, but in her mind, I mean, I'm speaking for her. We'd have to ask her, but I feel like that was like she was very determined that that was her way. Now, I do wonder if she started out in a way where she didn't have a child so young and she was in a different type of support system. If,
Yeah.
say, she would have chosen a different career, or if she would have given herself some space to try something different than what she actually
Yeah.
did. Like, I
Yes.
do think there's value in maybe coming from that space too, coming from that place of being really supported. I do know that, she was very driven, and like she had something like very specific in mind for herself. But she did a great job in all of it. And I also wonder that if she would have came from a place that had a little bit more support outside of like me and John, right? Like if it
Hmm.
was like support outside of that, that maybe she could have, maybe, I don't know that she made a good living as an accountant. I don't know if that's what she would have chosen if
Oh,
she
I
were
hear
to
what
have
you're
another
saying.
decision, right? Like, so
Right.
I do think there was
Right.
something about like, this is a good living. She can raise me and like
Yeah.
make a good living. And
Yes.
she was intellectually able to do it. And so,
Yeah.
but I think maybe if she could have had a little bit more time, she would have maybe found a different path.
Right.
Yeah.
But it sounds like one of the things that I'm hearing you say about your mom, one of her attributes is she was very strong.
Yeah. She's very strong.
Yeah, very strong in her convictions of what she wanted for you and what she wanted for herself.
Yeah, and I do think she used to she used to say like she raised me to be strong and independent, but at some point it backfired on her. It backfired when she
Love
didn't
it.
want me to be as strong and independent. I'm like, I'm sorry, I'm now made that way. I don't know what else to say.
Right.
So yeah, I mean, she very much instilled that in me, and
Yeah.
I can stand on my own 2 feet. And when I've really run into hard times in life, while I stood on my own 2 feet, my mom was totally there for me and in my corner. So like, having both of those things is important.
Right. I had a podcast with Sharon, and she said the same thing about her mom. Her mom always supported her in anything that she done, and I think that that's a really beautiful quality that moms have with their children is the sport.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah. I love that podcast, by the way. I watched it this
Oh,
morning.
good.
I have to tell Sharon I said hi. Her mom
Sharon and
sounded like
I
a
had
hoot.
a great time, and she wants to bring her brother wants to come on, her
Oh,
sister
good.
wants to come on. They want to talk about Hazel when she fell into the Christmas tree for who knows what reason, and Bob wants to come on and
Ah,
talk about that too. What would you say is the best memory that you have, an all-time favorite memory of your mom?
of my mom. There's so many. I was, I don't know if this is a memory, but her and I laugh about this. I'll give you two things. Like,
Okay.
one is my mom was very, very stylish, right? And she loved makeup. And like her friend's mom did Merle Norman makeup and stuff. So
Oh,
like we
wow,
had this little
yes.
bathroom with this like little sink, and there was a little space between the sink and the wall. And I would squeeze in there and watch her put her makeup on every morning. And
I love
can I
it.
have that? And can I do this? And then she had this sparkly black dress. I wish she kept it because it would be really cool right now. It was this
Yeah.
long black dress, long sleeves, and it had sparkles all in it.
Oh.
And so I would ask her all the time, when you die, can I have that? Like, I don't know why it was like when you die, but it was always a
Right.
question I had for her thinking that I couldn't get it another way or something like, when you die, can I have that thing? So we laugh about it all the time that, she'll say to me, when you die, can I have that? Like, it's a sick joke, but it's like totally
Yeah.
what I would say as a kid. So
And
it's turned
wouldn't it
into
be
that.
fun if you could find a black dress like
Honestly,
that?
mom had some cool clothes. I'm like, why did you get rid of that stuff? So
Right.
I do think there's probably a part of me that likes clothes and makeup and all of those things because I
Yes.
watched her and like that was fun. So I'd say that was a fun thing with my mom. Um, and the other thing is, I think a part of like a lot of my sense of humor is along the same lines as her. So
Uh-huh.
it's got a little bit of a sickness to it. So there's
You
two
think?
times. Yeah, why I married Mike? I mean, I don't know, but right. So there were two times we were in a doctor's office and I started laughing and cracking up, and then it got her laughing and cracking up, and we just couldn't stop. And it was like not inappropriate moments, right? Like, so we would totally laugh about something that was potentially not funny, right? It's like she took me to the
But
doctor
you
for
found
scarlet
fun and
fever.
humor in it, right?
Yeah, I was a kid and like it was something she thought I had scarlet fever. I didn't. I don't know why. I don't know. She got nervous about something. And we're in the doctor's office, and for some reason the cold stethoscope on me made me laugh. And then I got nervous and I started laughing more. And then she started laughing. And the doctor's just kind of standing there and we're like cracking up. I was probably like 8. Like we just couldn't stop laughing.
Oh my
And
gosh.
then when I was older, I think I was still in college, my mom had a bunion surgery.
Ooh.
And they had wrapped her foot, and I had to take her to her appointment to get it unwrapped. She couldn't drive, so I took her to her appointment. She's going to love that I'm putting this on, completely on a podcast.
Right.
It was funny. But when they took off the wrapping of her foot, her baby toe was like this. Like they wrapped it tight, and so it made this it was like this.
Sticking
So
out.
yeah, so I looked at her and I made a very bad joke about it, and we just started laughing so hard. In fact, so much so that they had to come into the room and like ask us kind of to be quiet. And they didn't find it as funny because they probably didn't do something right. her foot went back to normal, but like those are the kinds of things that
Yes.
her and I just kind of find humor and silly,
Well,
weird things.
you
And
know, and do you still have that today with her?
yes,
Do
yes,
you?
yeah, yeah. We usually find the inappropriate funny. So yeah,
So the
totally.
relationship from what you were when you were very small
Mhm.
and now has changed in what way? I mean, yes, you're both older, and besides the humor, what what would you say has become
um,
is that a hard question? Is that putting you on the
really. No, no, it's not putting me on the spot. I just want to make sure I'm like being thoughtful about it. Um, I would say that there is an easiness.
Oh, okay, nice.
So I think, my mom was raised where in an environment where the parents knew best, and my mom was on the
Right.
strict side of things, right? Like in a lot of respects, my mom was pretty
Right.
strict with me. Um, and so there was a dynamic of me listening to my mom, although not
Sure.
because I'm also a strong-willed daughter that was independent, so I
Right.
challenged her quite a bit too. But I would say that it was still ultimately that of like daughter and parent, where there was like I listened, right? And then as the years have gone on, I think that has left, like that dissipated, and we are left with the other things that were cultivated, which feels very much more easy and natural, I would say. So I don't know if that's
Well,
just one thing. I mean, it kind of seeps into a lot of things for us,
but
I
that
think.
that part of strictness in the family, um, and we experience that, but some parents more than others. But my point is that it sounds like that's kind of gone away.
Yeah, I think so. I mean, I would say that there's probably always that inside of my mom because of like the way she was raised, but I would say she
Yes.
doesn't project that on me as an adult. Like
Hmm.
she is very much, she's changed that role in an appropriate way where once your kids become a certain age, they kind of let you kind of let people do their own thing. And so
Right.
she does that with support and without that need to tell me how to do it or what to do. Or I
Right.
think she really cultivated trying to help me figure out how to make my own decisions when I was young.
Okay.
And so, I mean, one time I told this big lie, and I told her that I told the lie. Oh gosh.
What
Don't,
happened?
don't ever tell your mom that, I guess. So we were at basketball practice at St. Mary's in Mount Clemens, and my girlfriend and I were screwing around, and the coach was late, and so we were screwing around, but we screwed around too long. So apparently the coach had come back and the practice had started, and we were still screwing around and doing something else. So we went in and we lied to her, like we lied to the coach about why we were late or something. And I went home and told my mom, like a dummy. I told her what I did. And I remember her laying on the couch and her looking at me and saying, "Do you think that was like, do you think lying is really a great way to handle that?" Like, no. Well, then tomorrow you're going to go back to that coach and
Oh
you're going to tell her that you
no.
lied. So you're going to go and tell her that you lied,
Oh
and then
God.
you're going to have to deal with it. So, like that. So I did, right? I had to go tell the coach that I lied, which was
Yes.
horrifying, but it was a really good lesson. So there was that part of my mom that, like, made sure that I, kind of told the line. And
Right. Right. That you
yeah.
really. I guess I want to say, making you accountable. Maybe.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
But
She was like, okay, I'm glad you told me. And
by the
go
way,
fix it. Yeah.
but do you think in your mom raising you, would
Yeah.
you say one of the biggest qualities that you walked away from? What would you say the biggest one? And then I'll tell you what I see. But you tell me what
Hmm.
you feel you walked away with.
Um, I think now this is hard to say too, because I met Mike so young and I've been with Mike so long. And so like my life has not happened in a vacuum. It's been in conjunction with him and
Yes.
our kids. So sometimes it's hard to separate. But I would say the biggest thing I took away from my mom is this kind of what I'm circling around is like ability to stand on your own 2 feet, right? Like this ability to kind of handle things, even if, I mean, not always gracefully, believe me, I've been a puddle on the floor for, in different moments, but ultimately had the confidence that I could pull myself out of something.
Mm-hmm.
And I do think that was because of the way I was raised.
So resilience,
Yeah.
yeah, but at the same time, I don't know. I think your mom was such a wonderful example to you that, myself personally, we learn from our parents and we don't even know we are because we're
Exactly.
there and we're in the
Yeah.
environment. But
Yeah.
your mom, I think resilience was probably something that you acquired, but also if something happened, let's just say something happened, whatever it was in life, that resilience, that coming back, that getting back on your feet again and doing whatever you need to do to make it better.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah. And knowing she was there for me, that
right.
probably helped. I mean, it wasn't just the way I was raised, it was also that she continued to be that. So my mom's an interesting person because she can be very strong-willed, like kind of still has that kind of like strict lines in certain spaces, and at the same time she's also super open and allows people to be who they are and like supports people, and
Yeah.
she's she's both of those things, and I benefited from both of those things,
So
I would
super
say.
soft, but I'm wondering, I'm wondering if you were ever able now or then to take and schmooze her.
Please, no, I don't even know if it even entered my mind. I remember this one time I must have disagreed with how she handled something or something. Like I was, it was when we lived, like when the kids were little. Like I remember, and she looked at me and she said, "Stop managing me." Like she knew I was trying to like do something around dance. I don't even know what it was. And so I was like, okay, gotcha. Like that's totally what I was doing. And
Right.
so
So
I
you were
actually,
managing her with the kids, or is that what it was?
no, it was some other situation, and I was I don't know. Instead of just being straightforward with like what I thought, I think I was trying to kind of weasel around it or something. And she kind of was like, "Yeah, then just you don't need
Not
to do that."
happening, eh?
Yeah, yeah. So that stuck in my mind because I actually pay like that's that sometimes when you want to avoid saying what you need to say, you tend to fall back into these other kinds of patterns. And so I do
Yeah.
hear those words sometimes, especially in work or something, right? Where I'm like, oh, I might be trying to manage this, but not being straightforward in it. And so
Right.
that's, yeah. So no, schmooze
Yeah.
my mom. No, she can
No.
sense that out. Yeah.
No way, eh?
Yeah. No.
So Karen saw it all, but something else that I see that you were able to take, and boy, I don't know if it was your childhood that you developed it when you were very young, but I see a responsibility that you have within yourself and your loved ones.
Yeah. Yeah, maybe overly so. Sometimes I've had to probably learn not to take on other people's things and just kind of try
Right.
to take on my own. Oh,
Right.
yeah, there's probably I have a kind of a motherly personality, I think, naturally, and then you add this like overly responsible kind of trait. Sometimes that needs to be tempered sometimes. But yeah, I would
Well,
say,
remember how you were talking about your mom
yeah.
and how she I don't know what did she say, but my question is, she's taught you responsibility, right? She taught you to be
Mhm.
responsible, right?
Yes. Hmm.
But did it sounded like did it backfire? Did it take and go, oh my gosh, I know that I taught her this, but
Yeah, she's
she
very self-reliant. And sometimes as parents you still want your kids to be like, "Mommy." And
right,
then maybe in times when she was wanting me to do that, I was kind of like, "Yeah, I'm good." And so I don't know when she felt that. I guess I never really asked her the circumstances where she was like, "Yeah, that backfired." But
right, exactly. I
yeah.
remember you
Yeah, I
told me
don't
that she had
know.
said that to you.
Yeah.
But what's really cool now is that you're both at an age where you certainly can take and enjoy each other.
Yeah.
And be there for each other and, just go out and have a good time and not have to worry about all the little things that were there when we were growing up. But the really cool part about that, you have boys. You don't
I
have a,
know. I
yeah,
know.
got lots of nieces that are daughters.
Yes.
And you've got daughter-in-laws that are coming up.
I know.
And I think those skills that were present in your life are now being coming to fruition.
I think
And
so. It's yeah.
right, because it is different with boys.
Yeah, Mike and I were just talking about this because maybe because Max is getting married and
Right.
Joe will probably be closely behind him, and the two people that they've chosen are just lovely and just
Yes.
enjoyable to be around. And it's an interesting thing, and maybe you can tell me this, like as a mother-in-law to be or whatever. I didn't have that responsibility of raising them, right? Like I didn't have, like they have these wonderful parents who've raised these beautiful girls, and so
Right.
women, not girls anymore. Um, and so we get to enjoy the fruits of their labor, really. And so
Absolutely.
yeah, we're
Yeah,
really fortunate.
absolutely. And I think that that certainly is a bonus, especially with you, Jenny, because of having boys. So
Yeah,
now you get to have the feminine side of them. And I
yeah,
know that they love you and Mike and they respect you guys and they love when they come over and they can join and everything. So I just think I don't know, it's such a gift that
hmm
we can take and enjoy. You can take and enjoy those girls for who they are and all the other wonderful things, and that that they're in a relationship with your son. So it's almost like, I don't know, do you feel like you couldn't have picked out better people, better girls than them?
no, I feel like they chose wisely, and
Yes.
very much enjoy them. And to speak to my nieces too, like that, those are special relationships. I you have these little. Luckily, your daughter Jenny,
Yes.
who I love and adore. It makes me tear up even thinking about her. She's just a doll face. She has these gorgeous young like women now, but we were able to raise our kids together,
Yes.
and that relationship is really special to me. And I have that with my sister too. I mean, the one sister has girls, so like speaking of girls in particular. Um,
The
so
two
just to
girls.
have, yeah, being able to spend a lot of time with them and you're not their mom, so you have this other relationship with them, which again is really lovely because you don't have the responsibility that comes with parenting, but you get to be with them growing up. I don't know, it's just kind of a unique thing. And I think of my aunt Lori, who took
Yes.
us everywhere, right? Like
Yes.
she wanted to be with us all of the time and would just come pick us up because she wanted to. And I'm like, gosh, that's what a special relationship being an aunt is.
Yes, definitely, definitely. And I think that all has been rooted in your early childhood of relationships with females, you know?
Yeah, and I'll say my mom did that too. So
Yeah.
my with her and my dad being divorced, she could have kept me away from his family, right? She could have had created barriers, but she didn't. I was with them all of the time.
Yes.
My stepdad's family, I was with a ton. I was also with her mom and my aunts. Like I have really great grandmothers, grandparents in general, but my grandmothers, and if we're talking about like that mother, you know, relationship, my grandmothers I was very fortunate to have wonderful women in my life, and my aunts, consequently cousins, that we
Yeah.
became really close to because of that. Um,
Right.
I've been, it was almost, I remember there's a line in this movie, I'm going to forget the name of it now. Michael Keaton was in it.
Oh.
And Nicole Kidman, she was having a baby and he was really sick. But I remember there was this line in
Oh,
it.
I know that movie. I think
Do
it's
you remember?
called My Life or something.
Something like that was, and
Right.
he was like interviewing people or something. He went to some old friends or neighbors or somebody's house, and he asked some question, and she said, the best thing you can do, or something to this effect. I might have changed it in my head, but like something to the effect that the best thing that you can do for your children is marinate them in love.
Oh, I
And
love that.
it was like this beautiful line that struck me, that I kind of, because I do feel like that was what I received from the women in my life. I was very
Yeah.
fortunate.
Yeah, and your mom did give you that special gift to take and let you be with
Yes,
your family. And
yes.
Jenny's, let's see. So Jenny went to school with Mike, and we know grandparents and aunts and uncles. So
Yes.
we have quite a history together. So when she's talking about her grandmothers and her aunts and her uncles, I can certainly relate because I knew all of them when I was growing up. So it was a wonderful time for me, but most certainly a wonderful time for you that you were surrounded by all these people that were loving on you.
Yes, very fortunate. I mean,
Yes.
divorce isn't lovely for people generally, and there's, things that you heal from because of them. But I can say the best thing that my family did, and I think it's probably more relevant now. People try to conscious parent or whatever this is. I think they did a better, like my mom did a good job with that without
Yes.
that being, the buzzword around it. I just
Yeah.
really was able to spend a lot of time with them. And yeah. And honestly,
Yeah.
like my relationship with my dad's mom was so strong that uh, I'm so lucky my mom didn't put any barriers there because
Grandma Thornton.
yeah, she was my
Yes.
she was my person. Yeah.
Yes. And the thing that I admire about Karen, your mom, is that she did not put any barriers on that at all. She
Mm-mm.
wanted you to be loved on as much as you could. And it was
Yes.
very evident of and then the other wonderful part about it was that they were there. Jenny has three what are they cousins or what's
Yeah.
right. But they were like sisters to you.
Yeah. Yeah. And I my life would not be the same without them. And so they're my best friends.
Right. And when you guys get together, it's like, oh my
Crazy.
gosh, it's definitely fun girl time, like going back in time at a pajama party.
It is. And like, it's funny talking about that marinating in love. My kids talk about us because we spend a lot of time together. My cousins, their husbands, their children, our friends Mark and Michelle, who are in that same thing. Like we've grown up with them, we love them the same way. Their
Yes.
kids, and so we very much spend on purpose time together regularly and have since the kids were little. And we were just talking about it because they said that I don't always act myself around everyone, but with them I do. And they said that we all just get crazy. Like Dave, Leslie's husband, brings earplugs because we're so loud. We laugh so loud, it's like obnoxious. So he
Gosh.
keeps his earplugs in so he doesn't have his ears hurt. But I would say yes, that is we're very, very lucky because I don't know that everybody always gets to have that kind of thing. So
Well, I think one of my favorite things, it wasn't my memory, it was yours, but the story, didn't you go with Grandma Thornton, or you went to see Grandma Thornton with your cousins, your
mhm.
sisters,
Mhm.
right? Yes.
Yes, right before she died, that
Yes.
time.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah. So,
yeah,
I mean, those trips, um, I just remember you going and just having such a wonderful time. And, you know, your mom said it was fine, right? You
yeah.
guys got to go and you got to relish in your cousins and who they were. And you guys just loved on each other. And I would say, standing from afar, that was probably the biggest thing that I admired that you were able to take and achieve, and that your mom was able to give you, was the love. Because it's like you say, when you're in a divorced family, there's things that happen,
Yeah, things
right?
happen. Yeah,
Yeah.
and you could sit in the bitter or the things that didn't go well, or you could, look to the positive and that. I mean, not that those, the negative stuff doesn't come up and
Oh,
out because
yeah.
it does, but
Yeah.
I would, I'm not trying to paint a picture that's not accurate, but I would say that overarchingly, love won out.
Yes. Yes.
Yeah.
Well, hey, this has been a
Sorry, this
great
got really deep,
podcast.
didn't it?
I know.
I'm like, where's Hazel? I know.
And I can't wait to take and watch it again. And
Uh,
as soon as we hang up, I will post it on Instagram so you'll be able to see it.
okay.
I do want to talk to you about your mom, and maybe, I don't know, maybe your mom would be interested in a podcast, putting it together with you too.
Oh, I bet you she would. Although I
Yes,
guess I
don't you
can't speak
think?
for her.
Wouldn't that be fun?
That would be great
Yeah.
fun. I love
I
that.
know. So we'll have to talk about it and see, because, people think, oh my gosh, I'm going to be live. It's nothing. All we're doing is talking and having fun and just, bringing up great memories of what life was like for your mom and for you and when you were growing up. So that's what this Cherry Bomb Moms is all about. Remembering our moms, remembering the good memories and all the other stuff that they did for us, which was phenomenal, right? We
Yeah,
didn't
go
know that
moms.
when we were growing up, but we look back at it and go, oh my gosh, how did she do it?
Yes,
Right? Right?
exactly.
How did she do it? I mean, we do it now, but how did your mom do it in the time that she grew up and everything else that, she was able to take and tackle? So thank you for coming on.
Thank
I'm just going to
you.
quickly say that for those people that have been our guests and watching and our viewers, when you go to Ismini Bakes podcast, hit the subscribe button so that we can take this out to everybody else. Again, this is Jenny Thornton, and she is Jenny Schaefer Thornton, and she is on Instagram. So we will take and tag her. So Leslie and Andrea
Kristen.
and Kristen, you girls, go see this podcast and laugh with us. Thank
All
you,
right.
Jenny, for
Thank you.
being here.
And thank you for being a lovely, loving, wonderful mother-in-law. We didn't get to you. That feels like another conversation.
Yeah, we got lots of stories to tell, right?
I know.
I know it.
Yes.
All right, we're going to
All
say
right.
goodbye, everybody.
All
Have
right.
a
Thank you.
wonderful weekend, a wonderful Sunday, and cheers, honors to mom. Bye, Jenny. Love
All right.
you.
Bye. I love you. I'll see you.
Okay, bye-bye.